Hello everyone, my name is Michael Schofield and today I'm going to be looking at sportsmen cheating tax affairs. Blame the player or blame the system? Blame the system. I'm sure you've seen recently the Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Neymar, Modric, Di Maria, the list will go on I'm sure, issues to do with not paying tax or just avoiding tax, offshore accounts, let's just hide something here, hide something there, we don't need to pay it, I'm an amazing footballer, I'm fine, I'm above everything, I'm above the law, I've earned my extra money, right? Yes, I'm sure most of the reasoning they go through is along those lines, and with the extra aspect that they don't particularly know the system. They have a team of accountants who do all of that, handle all of that, and they don't actually know what's going on. But the law is quite clear that ignorance isn't quite enough, although I think to an extent it does make sense. Nobody knows all the rules, nobody knows all the laws. My point though is, alright, some of these footballers might be arrogant, but do we really need to blame them? Do we need to blame sportsmen in general? I'm sure you will agree that there will be sportsmen everywhere, actors, musicians, famous people, rich people, full stop, who will be doing all these sorts of things. Do we blame them though? We can't. These people aren't born evil, they're born with amazing talents, they're doing amazing things. We shouldn't just automatically say that they're evil. As humans, we act to improve ourselves. We're automatically born selfish, we have our own families and friends, even if we see ourselves as altruistic, even though altruism doesn't exist. We are still ultimately eating for ourselves, we're doing things that please ourselves, even if we're doing things that really don't help ourselves overstate, just whack ourselves on the back. It ultimately is from some selfish position that helps ourselves or our species. Politicians, the clergy, young, old, men, women, the different countries around the world, different systems around the world, one way or another, people will find a way of cheating. House said in Gregory House that everybody lies. Well, my interpretation is that everybody cheats. Does that mean we're all evil? No, it means we're logical creatures. To get ahead, for us to do well, we will, if we're put in the right situation, which will happen in most of our lifetimes, we will cheat here, we will cut corners, we'll do whatever we can to get ahead. That doesn't always mean money-wise, but it means spiritually, it means putting ourselves in the right situation for us to succeed. Or it means, for our whole species, if you're someone who says, well, I don't actually ever put myself forward or first, that in itself, if you were to analyse fully, it would still be within the boundaries of selfish, in that you are still wanting your greater humans to do well, or you're wanting animals to do well, or the planet or environment. You really break down where you get those morality the areas of morality from, you'll see that it all breaks down to ultimately you feeling good about yourself. Which is fine. It's just understanding human nature. There is no action that we do without a reason why we do it. And so anyway, looking at the specific issue of tax, there is one hell of a tax gap, which means the amount of money paid, that is the amount of money owed. And people, as I'm saying, in all areas obviously don't pay tax. We all know that. From the small, medium business enterprises to the different types of behaviour, you've got criminality of course, you've got your evasion, avoidance, your aggressive avoidance, and you've got your legal interpretations of what you can and can't do. Huge rights, where they can have their offshore accounts on certain islands around the world, but not just on certain islands. Certain main countries such as Britain, which is a huge tax haven for all kinds of businesses and individuals. Now when I say everybody cheats, does that mean that we all cheat in exactly the same way? No, we all have different genetic compositions, makeup, and some people are more likely to be more cooperative and work with the team. But again, my point is, there is a reason for that. It's not that you're automatically made a much greater human being because you cooperate. It's that you have a certain makeup, as you tend to find with women who will be more caring and nurturing, and men who will be more aggressive and physically competitive. We're pushing ourselves in complementary manners, where if you have some people who are more cooperative with people who are more go-getters and self-promotion people, if you actually mix them, we do even better than just having a load of cooperative people in a committee or in a hung parliament coalition style where we don't particularly get too much done. We do need some direction. And obviously the other side is true. We can't just have a bunch of people who just care for themselves, because there will hardly ever be a collective good. So how do we solve all these things? As I'm saying, with the complementary system we need people feeling as if they are getting what they're really owed. And this is why some sportsmen will really feel they can push the envelope, they can go as far as possible, because we don't particularly always have a meritocratic system. People are perturbed when they have to pay tax. They don't like the idea of it. If they think it's really going to go to areas that's going to help them, the NHS, it's going to help the public sector, it's going to help the economy in all kinds of areas, and fill in some potholes, get the dustbin men round on time, then people will be more likely to pay it. And that's the point. We need a meritocratic system. We have to pay tax. Everybody has to pay tax if you want any sort of advanced, technological, innovative, competitive society. We will need to be paying the tax. We will need to be given a lot of money, especially the more money that we earn. So we do need that meritocratic system. We need a system that properly reflects logic, that reflects fairness and justice, which is spreading out the wealth. There has to be some wealth distribution. At the same time, if you are an extraordinary person, this is where the likes of sportsmen in particular do set themselves aside. For the amount of people who try to be a good sportsman in the world, and the amount of people who can't do it, they can't be a Messi or Ronaldo. These guys have really pushed the boundaries. They are doing amazing things. They are entertaining an untold amount of people, hundreds of millions of people around the world, which gives such quality of life and meaning of life to so many people. But they do deserve a lot. They are some of the most deserving people in the world, whatever their personality is, for their dedication and for everything they give to their sport, to their craft, to the entertainment industry, which sport is. As people say, it's the results industry. No, it's the entertainment industry, and these guys do entertain amazingly. They deserve to be at the top of the tree. We do have a hierarchical society, and these guys, they absolutely deserve it. And they understand that. And so I get that they will be in their own minds thinking, well, I've earned all this, why can't I have all this? So I have a bit more. I'm doing a lot of charity work, right? Which is another area with people doing charity work. They think, well, I now have the right to do whatever the hell I like. Jimmy Savile. But you don't. Point to counter all of this is that we are still limited, and you should get a lot of money, and that's great, and all the recognition in the world, and they can have their challenges for Ballon d'Or with football, whatever sport they're in at the highest level. But we of course do need boundaries, and we do have to set some guilt, some obligation in our brains. Now, how do we get that? From the formative years, the young years, we need the good form of brainwashing. All education is brainwashing after all. The good form of brainwashing that really puts into our brains that we don't want to go too far. If we ever do make it, if we ever do make the most of our talent, we really truly want to give back, and not just because you're obliged to, not just because you can do a bit of good here and then that gives you free rein to do all the bad, but just as a well-rounded individual. You've got to a point where, alright, your head's going to be bigger, it's automatic. We can't even be expecting people to get in such an amazing position as high-class sportsmen and to not be a bit cocky and maybe want to manipulate the system here and there. That's understandable. To the extent that these guys are doing it though, that's a sign that the educational system is not working. So we can punish the hell out of them, we can threaten jail, put them on probation for a few years, that's how it happened to Lionel Messi, and probably will to Cristiano Ronaldo, but it doesn't actually solve it. The educational systems, that's where the focus needs to be, of course. We need to be pushing to our children the right sort of brainwashing from an early age, fairness, distribution, whatever stage you get at. You don't have the right to have absolutely everything. You have the right to more than most, because you are doing amazing things, and that's absolutely fine. But you don't have carte blanche to do whatever the hell you like. No one really does. Nature has a sort of anarchy to it, really. As humans, we're trying to push past that anarchy to some higher plane, where we're a true civilization that works for everyone, whilst properly rewarding those who earned it. Lots of people don't really want that. They want to curb the excesses, the riches of these people. But where's the actual sense in that? I can't do what these guys do. You probably can't. They do deserve the riches. They do deserve to be at the top. There are structures in nature for whoever does better or best. So that in itself makes sense. But again, they need to be tied down to an understanding of distribution, of fairness. That okay, you were born with amazing talent and that's great, you've absolutely made the most of it and you deserve a lot, but you don't quite have the world, you don't deserve the world, and some other people at least should have the same chance to be in a position that you have been in, because hey, newsflash, most people haven't got the amazing facilities, haven't got the system that you had, And alright, some footballers can say, like Alexis Sanchez, because he was on the streets growing up, and Manny Pacquiao, but even then, everything just worked out perfectly because, hey, they had pretty good genetics, right? Accidental birth. So, as much of a meritocratic system as we can get is what we need to go for. There is no truly meritocratic system because we are born with the genes that we have, and we have a certain life is pushed on us in our early years, which can have such a dramatic effect. But a meritocracy is the right sort of way to go, not just blaming individuals. Let's not just blame individual sportsmen. We can as a joke, everything can be made as a joke of, but when we're actually properly analysing it, the systems have to change. Change the systems, don't hate the players.